Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing all right today. I'm enjoying the very strong breeze here. I'm hoping that I can talk over the sound of the waves and the boats behind me. There's one of them active, I hear. I want to talk about what I've been doing over the last couple of days. And I've had the occasion of following a car seller around, a person who is selling their vehicle. I wanted to know the process, and they were willing to have me tag along, providing I don't take pics or video anything. So, and there's a number of things that a seller is required to do. First of all, you get together with the buyer once you've made a verbal deal, and then you go to an attorney. This party used one in Bacong, and the cost was 3,000 pesos. When I refer to we, that's the seller and myself primarily. In this case, it was with a buyer also. We stopped along the way at another attorney's office. They wanted 3%, and that was 3 times as much as the 3,000. So we went to Bacong. It's not far. It sounds like a long ways, but it's less than 10 minutes from here. And what they do there is they write it's a one-pager. They write up the transfer from seller to buyer, including all the pertinent information from the registration. You need to supply the current registration with the receipt. The registration is not good alone. And so they get into that, and the amount was agreed upon prior to. They asked that, and when it's all said and done, the transfer is made, and also the deed of sale. That's super important, and apparently it's very important to the LTO if you have an attorney notarize it. The attorney's office supplies the paper form and all. There's really nothing for the buyer and seller to do but sign off. So on one page you'll have the seller's ID card with 3 signatures. On another page it'll be the buyer's ID card and 3 signatures. And there is one extra page that acts as a receipt that the seller acknowledges having received such and such an amount for that particular vehicle. They need to know the original license plate number, which is on the original registration. Excuse me. If it was purchased new, it'll be there. Now that registration or that license plate is a cardboard one that is given from the dealer. Now if you were to buy a new car, you'd get that, and then you'd wait a month or so, and LTO would send the dealer the new license plate, the middle one, the real one, and they would apply it. So when you buy a new car, it's pretty simple actually, but the seller needs all his ducks in a row to accomplish that sale. So you've got the title transferred, and you have the deed of sale, you have the receipt with all pertinent information with regards to the vehicle in question. So then you proceed to the highway patrol. There they require 3 copies of everything, including the originals that I just mentioned: registration, receipt, deed of sale, and the other pages with the ID information. They get that in order, then they give you a receipt. That receipt has the cost on it. I'm getting the waves a little here. I hope it doesn't affect the camera much. Feels good this time of morning. It's heating up pretty good here. That breeze is wonderful. So the receipt you take to the land bank, and the seller pays for that. And I believe it was $690, somewhere in that area, 690 pesos. Then the receipt you take back to the LTO. That's a Land Transportation Office. It acts as the same as our motor vehicle department in the United States. Same services, without the benefit of computerization. And at that point, there is something else that is required, but not for the LTO, at least at this point, and that is you need to get an endorsement from the current insurance company to the new owner. However, I found that the insurance company would not write it strictly on the name of the buyer, because the registration name on it is the seller's name. So they put both names on. And until the registration is totally finished with the LTO, you will not get the insurance on your personal name if you're the buyer. So in this case, that was really all there's to it. We got through at about noon. Now that's providing that we didn't have an appointment with the attorney either, just to walk in, and called beforehand, and they were available. So that was very quick. The highway patrol was efficient, and by the way, when you're at the highway patrol, you do need to have the engine serial number and the chassis serial number stenciled. And there's a boy there that he's not on payroll or anything, I don't think. He just does that for tips. So the seller, actually he couldn't find them, and another fella came by and helped him with it and found them, and so both of them were tipped 100 pesos. And may I say that really this seller and myself didn't know our way around Dumaguete, so the LTO actually sent another a lady on a motorbike to guide us, which was very, very nice. And then of course, when we finished with the bank, just 50 yards away is the crime lab, the city police crime lab. So you take your receipt over to them, and they check the serial numbers. And by the way, you need 2 copies for them. Rather, you need to make a couple of copies. The seller made 2 copies, one for the crime lab and kept one as an extra. And that is not supposed to cost anything, but the kid there, very young, I'm supposing a police officer, I don't know, he wasn't dressed up like one, asked for 300. Maybe because an American was present, I don't know, but that's what the deal was. Now, a hitch in this whole process, and by the way, that you take back to the LTO, and they finish off the paperwork, and you're ready to go, with the highway patrol, then you're ready to proceed to the LTO. That would be the buyer's responsibility. He's got a whole packet there of necessary information from the seller. the buyer would take it there. Well, upon arrival there, they said, well, this vehicle is from another island, so we need to confirm with the other island LTO that this vehicle is kosher, it hasn't been involved in a crime, etc., etc. So, folks, there's no computer database that you log into and do the search yourself. There's no island to island. There is no national database that you can access. So I believe they emailed the request to clear this vehicle before the buyer can register it. So guess what? It's going to be about 4 weeks to accomplish that. 3 to 4 weeks, they said. So the vehicle is kind of in limbo. Now in writing, the vehicle is actually the buyer's now, but really he has no registration. So we need to wait for that clearance before the buyer is able to finish off with his side of it. Now, I don't know what's involved there cost-wise. I hope that eventually I'll be informed of that. I will find out somehow. But really, that's about it as far as selling a vehicle. Of course, you know, all the stuff you would do to your vehicle when you sell anywhere else in the States or wherever you're from. You know, you clean it up and you present your records of maintenance and repair, etc. And that's LTO has nothing to do with that. I don't think they really care. It's between you and the buyer. The buyer might require something, or the seller might require a form putting the liability on the buyer if he should want to take it for a test drive himself or herself. There's things of that nature, but not necessarily required by the LTO, as far as I know. So that's just a little heads up for anybody who's trying to sell a used vehicle or purchase a new vehicle. Again, for the buyer, it's just meeting at the attorney's office, and then you get the buyer gets a copy of everything that comes out of that office, and the seller gets 2 copies, which he has to submit to the LTO, the Highway Patrol, I should say. After which, when all this paperwork is compiled and the car is cleared by the other LTO in another island, then he can go back in with all that paperwork and finalize the registration. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know the costs of that, if there are any. Hopefully I'll find out, and we'll get that to you in the future. But that's just a little information that might be helpful to you someday, or if you're purchasing a car. Again, used vehicle, there's not that much to it. Just be sure of, I'm sure you'd want to be sure of what you're getting, though, as far as mechanics checking it out, etc. So, without anything further today, I hope you have a good day, and I'm really enjoying this breeze. I'm hoping that I put both mics on again today, hoping that my voice will carry enough for this video. And again, I appreciate very much you viewing, and until next time, you all take care. Bye now.